Let me ask you about Saudi Arabia. This was part of your portfolio many times in various times that you've been in government. And you were actually just there with the president as director of the CIA, not just before. You were there a lot as a chief advisor to the president for Homeland Security. What is the state of our relationship? How fractured is it?
We have a very strong relationship with Saudi Arabia, and it's on the economic front, the political front, military, security, and intelligence across the board. I have very close relations with my Saudi counterparts.
You do? Is the president anymore?
Oh, the president had very good meetings when he was out there. He had more than 2 hours meeting with King Salman and some of the senior-most officials of the Saudi government. There are some differences of view about how some of these regional issues should be addressed, and that's very healthy. And in fact, both the president and King Salman said it was a very candid discussion that is necessary among friends.
Last week, I had former Senator Bob Graham on the show. He's been somebody, you probably know this, that has been trying to publicly get more attention to the idea of releasing these 28 pages of a congressional inquiry about 9/11 that have to do with Saudi Arabia and potential role Saudi Arabia does. Why not release those 20? What's the case against releasing those 28 pages?
Those so-called 28 pages, one chapter in this joint inquiry that was put out in December of 2002, was addressing some of the preliminary findings and information that was gathered by this joint commission within the Congress. And this chapter was kept out because of concerns about sensitive sources of methods, investigative actions, and the investigation of 9/11 was still underway in late 2002. I'm quite puzzled by Senator Graham and others because what that joint inquiry did was to tee up issues that were followed up on by the 9/11 Commission, as well as the 9/11 Review Commission. So these were thoroughly investigated and reviewed. It was a preliminary review that put information in there that was not corroborated, not vetted, and not deemed to be accurate.
Are the information in those 28 pages you think are inaccurate information? Just that everything that's in there is false?
No, I think there's a combination of things that is accurate and inaccurate. And I think the 9/11 Commission took that joint inquiry and those 28 pages or so and followed through on the investigation. And they came out with a very clear judgment that there was no evidence that indicated that the Saudi government as an institution or Saudi officials individually had provided financial support to al-Qaeda.
Are you concerned that the release of those pages will unfairly put the relationship in a damaged position?
I think some people may seize upon that uncorroborated, unvetted information that was in there that was basically just a collation of this information that came out of FBI files and to point to Saudi involvement, which I think would be very, very inaccurate.
Two more